This is a muscle that you're having pain. You're doing the exercise in the wrong way. I am commentating over exercise. That's the muscle that's having problems. It's my neck. I'm not intentionally exercising my neck. It's that, like, you try talking while doing mountain climbers. Not easy. And so that's where the muscle pain is coming from, because I'm straining it a little bit. And so my solution would straight up be to not talk. Because there's nothing I can do better about commentary, apart from do it less. Let's see. Wonder what's your schedule for the holidays? Nothing! Sort of. My schedule for the holidays is mostly based on, like, whether or not I'm invited to any, like, holiday things. I think we will be busy on the 28th, unless everybody's forgotten about it and made their own plans, and thus, you know, nothing happens. Because that's always a potential possibility. Okay, so this is some kind of fresh hell. This is so much fun when you have the ricochet shot, but I do not. I do have chain lightning, but it doesn't work that often. Ooh, Shadow's Fang. Yeah, we're starting to finally pick up some item blueprints now, which is kind of good. But yeah, there's also a kind of a difference between strain and pain. And I realize that I should be more clear about this, because anytime I'm talking about, like, exercise, I'm like, man, my back hurts, or, like, my legs hurt from all of this exercising. Everybody's like, you must be doing it wrong then. It's like, no, I've just been exercising. Like, there's a difference between, like, a pain of, like, oh, shoot, I've done something wrong, or, like, pulled a muscle, or just, like, pushed myself too hard. And then there's just the pain of, like, man, I've been doing a bunch of exercises that I just have never done. Or haven't done that much, so, like, yeah, of course my back's gonna hurt. Let's see. But yeah, otherwise, I have, like, no plans for the holidays. I don't have any family out west anymore. I used to have a great uncle out here. And an aunt out here, but my aunt got bitten by a tick, so she moved back to Minnesota for healthcare stuff, and my great-uncle died, so yeah, that was just me out here. But we moved out here mainly, I'm not going to say to get away from family, but, like, I like having independence. Even if it would be nice to actually spend time with family, it's also kind of... It's very validating being able to... Really? Okay. Being able to just kind of be on my own. Whoops. This Trovo the heck off. I think I'm actually hitting Trovo here nearly as much... Ow! As I'd like to be able to. Okay. Let's see. In Kansas, we did have Shell's great aunt, who is an absolutely lovely lady, and we miss her. I just don't miss Kansas that much, except for the Thai food there. The Thai food in Kansas was fantastic, but the rest of the food was not as fantastic, so less of a... I don't miss it as much. And the sushi place was okay. I love how it had to wait for that bone to disappear for the doors to open back up. We might as well grab the talisman. I want to get rid of some of these curses if I can. Anything else? Nah. Now, I gotta remember, I do have the transmutation bombs. What is this one? I'll live without. I'm gonna burn a lot of bombs here. Oh, you can only re-roll it so many times. Then again, almost all of that stuff was kind of trash for my build. I know the light implied that there was a synergy there, and I probably should have just gone with it, but why must you always pick up the things that have money in it? Then again, the canary's more than happy to pick it up. And he killed himself with a saw blade. Aha! So I guess in a more direct sense, what's my holiday schedule? My holiday schedule is I ain't going anywhere. The streams are just gonna continue as normal. And that works for me. I might do a couple of, like, kind of weird things. Like, I've never played The Sims before, and I think this winter would be a good excuse for me to do some really stupid stuff for, like, a weekend. Let's see, what else would I have? I mean, I'd like to sit down and finish some other games, too. Like, yeah, sit down and finish Dragon Quest, Disgaea 4. What else is there? I mean, I've got a lot of games that I've just never finished. Oh, Outer Worlds. Gotta finish that. Twilight Princess. I'd actually like to just go and play through most of the Zelda games just in general, because they're that good. Those games, except for visually, those games are timeless. And even their styles are fine. It's just like, Ocarina of Time looks kind of bad nowadays. It looks okay. It just needs to be HD-ified. What about Dragon's Dogma? I got salty about it last time. I'll go back and finish Dragon's Dogma as well. I forgot. You gotta break the red skull, otherwise they get back right back out. I think my problem with Dragon's Dogma is it's like, it's a good game padded out by like an insane amount of fluff. And that makes it very difficult for me to want to get into it, because I effectively don't care at all for the main story. But that DLC is so good that I want to play it. Let's see, what happened with it? With Dragon's Dogma? I screwed up a quest. So, there's a certain quest where you have to specifically, prove a guy innocent or guilty. And I got, like, 10, 12 pieces of evidence or something like that. Almost all of it in favor of making him innocent. But, like, I screwed up and I handed in one piece of guilty evidence, or maybe 2 pieces. But, you know, I'd given so much evidence that I was like, well, he's probably still gonna get determined innocent, right? Nope, he just got, like, off-camera declared guilty and thrown in prison forever, and I couldn't even bust the guy out. And I realized it was my fault for, like, not paying attention, but it still felt kind of shitty, because I was just like, it wasn't streamlined, and so I was just mashing buttons, because it was just like, I don't want to sit here submitting evidence and going through like 5 bits of dialogue every single time I wanted to drop something off. So I just mashed buttons. And now, you can't reload in that game. So my options are start over from the very beginning, kind of, sort of. Which isn't the end of the world, because I'd still be able to keep all my levels and stuff. Or, like... or just, like, accept it and move on. Which I think would be fine, but still makes me salty. Yeah, start over and cheat. Well, so the way it works in Dragon's Dogma is you don't actually, you don't need to start over from the beginning. There's a New Game Plus that you could enable pretty much at any time in the game, which is, let's see, do I want any of these? Not overwhelmingly, no. I guess I'll grab the free meat. But you can set it to hard mode and then back to normal mode. And what that does is more or less resets the game back to the very beginning. Without any penalties, which is lovely. I wish more games kind of had that. So you're sent back to the beginning of the game, but you get to keep all of your stuff. And you get to redo things. And that's actually kind of an attractive prospect for me, because it's like, well, then I could really just, like, kick-ass my way through. Problem is, it would still take forever. Yeah, Dragon's Dogma would be a whole lot more fun if there was co-op and multiplayer. Yeah, and I would have finished it twice over by now if it was a full co-op game. Like, if somebody could just take control of my pawn while I was playing through it, that would be such a lovely experience. I know that's what Dragon's Dogma Online's supposed to be, except for, of course, I'm pretty sure they just shut that down. So, or if they haven't shut it down yet, it's getting shut down within the, like, next couple of months. And, of course, was never released in the West. So, truly, I don't know. I'm torn. I might just, like, say, screw it. Whatever that NPC wasn't that important. Rush towards the end and just play the, Ow. Just rush towards the end, and then play the DLC like I really want. Because the DLC is the only reason why I actually want to play Dragon's Dogma. Because everything is nice, compact, and interesting, as opposed to, like, this big, empty world with, I guess, goblins in it? There are more location teleports. Yeah. It just feels like one of those games. I've definitely felt like this about a number of games along the way, where it's just like, it feels like they wanted it to be an MMO, but they didn't have the budget to make it an MMO, so they just kind of did whatever. And that always sucks a little bit. I have similar feelings about, the Kingdoms of Amalur, for example. And honestly, most Ubisoft games where I'm just like, man, finishing this game would suck. I don't wanna. Like, I rather enjoyed Far Cry 5, but I don't think I'd ever go through that again. I think I was just really sick at the time, so it was kind of an easy, like, no-brainer game to play for a while. But nowadays, I'd rather just, like, load up WoW or something instead. Chell got excited when she heard that. I should have re-rolled that. Oh well. Kingdoms of Amalur, they admitted that was the case, right? Yeah. That's because Kurt Schilling, I believe, was a fairly big WoW fan, and really wanted to make an MMO, but he didn't have the budget or the chops for it, so Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning was effectively a tech demo? For what they could make with Project Copernicus. And there are massive channels that have, like, done crazy retrospectives on where Amalur went wrong. I still think it was a lovely game. The map was just too big. Like, give me small environments that are easy to traverse and interesting at all points. Don't give me something big and empty. I think, actually, this is kind of a valid complaint about a lot of games. I mean, going back to Subnautica, it's just like, I appreciated how hand-designed everything was, but there were certain points where I was just like, man, this is just big and empty, and why? And I generally prefer to play games that are much more smaller and focused if I can, just because otherwise I just, like, look at the big planet and I'm just like, man, this is not worth it anymore. Like, Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter World is a perfect example of how to make small, tight level design and such work for you without making the game feel small. Like, okay, fine, I got a little tired by the end of my however many hour playthrough. I got a little tired about running through those very limited environments. But, like, it worked really well. And it was a lot of fun. And so, I never really felt like it needed to be that much bigger. I think it could have been. I think there are reasons and ways that, like, a much larger Monster Hunter kind of game could work. And I'd love to play something that's, like, kind of a weird mix between Breath of the Wild, Dragon Quest Builders, and Monster Hunter as just, like, a weird combo super sandbox game. But I think even then I'd feel like it'd be emptier. Pretty sure those are homing. Yep, they are. At least they have, like, limited range, I think. Like Breath of the Wild as a game, I always felt the map was too big. I know you could teleport, but, like, not teleporting, making adventure log in my head. I was fine with teleporting all over the place. I think the main problem was the more you have of something in any game, the less important it feels. So, for example, like, the first maybe 100 Korok seeds are kind of cool and worthwhile, and you want them. After that, you're like, oh, good, it's another Korok seed. And then you find out what you get for getting all the Korok seeds, and you're like, why the hell do I care about this thing? Like, finding out that all you get is just a giant turd was just, it killed all enthusiasm. Ooh. Glycerin. Really hoping for something else. One more? Look at the intensifier. That's kind of okay. A little expensive, but still. I don't actually care about getting money at this point. We've already got, like, all of the upgrades that I generally would ever want. And so at this point, I'm just trying to beat stuff to get new blueprints. And also, it's one of those where this game hasn't quite changed enough. I think what this game needs, and I've definitely said this before, is the build variety feels very low. And I know it's kind of in their plans, but, like, every Hades run feels different. I mean, I had a run that I named I Shaved Dad. And, like, if you were to ask me about it a year from now, I'd probably remember exactly what you're talking about. For the life of me, I can only remember, like, maybe one or two Hades... not Hades. Only one or two UnderMine runs. It's a great game, but it's just, like... I need that level of, like, crazy variety that certain other roguelikes afford. Make it, like, super interesting. But yeah, let's go back to the Breath of the Wild thing. There's just so many Korok seeds that, like, yeah, okay, the first couple are actually really important because you kind of need them to increase your carrying capacity. But after that, you're just like, man, I don't really need these, and it's going to take so long to get all of them, to get, like, the later upgrades, that it's just not worth the effort, so you give up. Unless you're insane and you really, really want to get all of them. It would have felt much more satisfying if there were only maybe 30 Korok seeds in the entire game. What's this one? Ooh, yes! Mirror Shield is nuts. What are some games that also do this? I mean, I guess I just have this problem in general with, like, Ubisoft products in general. It's just, like, I don't really want to play a game that has, like, 50 billion collectibles on the map, where they all just kind of blend together after a while. Like, say what you want about how Warframe is kind of bloated at this point, and, like, has some, like, grind problems. Every gun generally feels distinct and interesting in that game, and that's super important for me. I was not getting the same feeling out of Warframe. Or not Warframe, sorry, Destiny. I enjoyed playing Destiny recently, and I'd probably play it again, but like finding all of the different exotic guns, I was just like, some of these are really cool, and most of them are just kind of the same with slight differences. 718 seeds and gave up. I think I was like following a guide and gave up somewhere around like 200 something. I was just like, yeah, this is cool, but I could also go play another game. I actually have that problem a lot with, nah, let's not do that. I have that problem with like, a lot of games. It's like, oh, cool, this is kind of fun, but that's too much for me. Especially because I could go play another game in that time and finish it. Like, I could probably do a full playthrough of, Fable 1 in the time it would take me to get all 900 Korok seeds with a guide. I think that's kind of difficult for me to work with, because it's just like, then I'd rather just do that. I'm so spoiled for choice. I guess it's difficult for me to stick to one thing. Do we want the protein shake? We have 2 full heal potions. Now this is actually a really good spot for Alglycerin. It doesn't really feel like Alglycerin gives that much more based on what floor I'm on, but oh well. One game you always find yourself going back to is Dragon Age Origins and Awakening. Really? I could barely get into that game. I found it was kind of meh. It was okay. I think my biggest issue is just the fact that I really had no passion to play more than one of the 3 routes. Because they didn't really, like, sync up well. It was just kind of like... I was really passionate about doing the Dwarven playthrough, because my character was a dwarf, and, you know, got screwed over, and I'm kind of like... I need my schadenfreude here. I need my revenge. And I don't even remember if I really got it. I wanted to bring up Fable a lot. You should play it soon. I should. I would like to. Oop, there's actually... I could have gone for, more crit there. Oh, shit. That guy has specialty bombs. I didn't know those ogres could have those. Well, it worked out fine for me. Let's see. You bring up Fable a lot. You should totally play it soon. I would like to. Yeah. I mean, the only reason why I'm not playing it sooner is I don't think I have the energy tonight. I don't think I have the energy tonight. I want to let my voice rest a little bit, and Shell and I were trying to finish a couple other games. But I honestly would not mind sitting down and playing through Fable. That's actually one of the only games I've ever 100%ed. Okay, game. I like the level glitch, so I can skip through a lot of gameplay and get to the story. Going Dwarf Commoner, since I like the idea of going from being a brand to a paragon. Oh, a brand to a paragon. Yeah! Grab the troll sweat. I'll drink the protein shake. I don't actually know if troll sweat is better, but I can pop that up earlier. Ooh. We don't need the conductor. But these are good. Seeing as I have a whole bunch of meat just sitting around. Which is this one? Doing damage at high health? Nah. Hello, guidance. That was worth it. This game seriously needs, like, 4 more items like guidance that have interesting effects. So nice. I think my other fear with Fable is that I'm going to play it again and be like, oh, this actually was not as good as I thought it was. I have that problem with a couple of, like, older games. Like, I started playing through Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Because I figured it would be cool to just come out on PS4 and some other stuff. And I found it to be, honestly, kind of disappointing. Oh, there's Sonic Boom. Bam! Let's see. How quick would you pick up Sunset Overdrive 2 if they made one? I'd absolutely play that day one. Sunset Overdrive was kind of a complete surprise when it came out on PC. And... oh, well, there goes that meat. I'll be fine. Okay, let's get out of here. I think Shell was waiting for me because she wanted to do Ring Fit, and then I'm still slow on this one. I do hope we get another Fable. I think it's kind of... it's like an open secret that it's in production. I think the other thing is, like, if I were to play a Fable game, I'd like to ideally play Fable 1, 2, and 3. I know some people are, like, super not passionate about Fable 1, 2, or Fable 3 specifically, but, like, I don't know. I've always heard people say how, like, it is. And... let's see, that's seasoned popcorn. I don't care too much for seasoned popcorn. Now, can I transmutagen it? Yes, I can. Stain yourself on gold. Don't care that much. And that just destroys it. Well then. Turns out my bombs are actually too strong. I'd originally actually picked up 2 copies of Fable 3 on PC to play through with Shell a long time ago. I wonder if they have it on, ow. Ugh. Do they have Fable 3 on the Xbox? Oh, it's not the replay. Well, I guess I'm just gonna grab golden powder and we're just gonna go bananas with bombs at the end there. What was I saying about Sunset Overdrive? Just the fact that it was fantastic and really surprised me. But then again, most Insomniac games are fantastic, so I shouldn't be terribly surprised that it was as good as it was. Yeah, I know they had Fable 3 on the 360, but have they ported it to the Xbox One? Or, like, can you play it on PC without Games for Windows Live? Because I think there's, like, a patch that you could kind of do so with. Because I know Shell was, like, super not passionate about it when we played it, like, back at the start of my channel. I'd like to try and convince her to play it again if it's playable. I should have gone for the golden tooth. Oh, gold bombs only work if you blow up actual rocks. That sucks. I mean, can I just blow up anything? Oops. Is on Xbox One. Blech. See, I only have one Xbox One. I can bomb that. Does that count? It does. We might as well squander all of our bombs. I'm still a little bit sad that... Was it Fable... It wasn't Fable Legends. Wait. Okay, so there's a card game, a Fable card game that was kind of meh. And then there was a Fable, like, co-op 4v1 game that was in production. Nope, that didn't do anything. I was actually really excited for that one. I was in the closed beta and I thought it was fantastic. But then they closed Lionhead. I would pay good money for them to actually go back and finish that. Because what I played was fairly solid. There aren't a whole lot of, like, cooperative, There aren't a whole lot of, like, cooperative RPGs out there at all. Since when was Lionhead closed down? A long time ago. I mean... It could be one of those where they're like, not necessarily closed down or closed down in name only. But, like, they laid everybody off. And, like, easy example are the Kinseed developers are some of the guys that got removed. Got laid off, and went off to make their own game. And it was definitely as part of the, like, they worked on the new Fable 1. The closest equivalent to the unreleased Fable game is Dungeonland. Not even close. Truly not even close. Oh. Like, maybe in terms of, like, kind of core idea, but, like, gameplay-wise, it was 100% like a fairly standard Fable game. But co-op, and with different classes and stuff. I mainly just played the Shield Lady, because she was fun. But, like, it was just super whimsical and fun. Oh, the roars hurt you. Okay. Might as well drink this. Okay. Also, didn't Dungeonland shut down? Or, no, that was the Mighty Quest for Epic Loot. I remember really wanting to play Mighty Quest for Epic Loot, but just not having the time for it. And then also listening to... I just remember, I think that was the first review I ever saw from Total Biscuit. And being like, holy shit, this guy knows what he's talking about. Yeah, Dungeonland was also shut down. Oh, goody. Sucker has so much HP. That was really... Oh! I can only hit one of them. That's unfortunate. I was really hoping I'd be able to hit both simultaneously. This is gonna take a while, ain't it? At least we have high-speed oft-critting pickaxe here. Otherwise, this would be Brabbles. Please die sooner. Also, I'm noticing my pickaxe isn't flying off the screen yet. That's a good sign. Because it flew off the screen last time, and I was quite mad about that. Let's see. Supposedly there's a Fable 4 in the works. Yes, but it is not Lionhead working on it. Fable 4 is being produced by, actually, I think it's racing, like a racing game studio. Ow. Okay. Still doing pretty damn well here, all things considered. Having the bouncing pickaxe and all the extra crit is making a difference. Shit. That was bad. Yeah, poison is kind of deadly. Oh, that's why there are those rocks there on either side of him. That's the trick to fighting this guy kind of easily. Okay. He's starting to get kind of aggressive with these guys. I wonder if he can't go back down at this point. Oh, luckily we've got a bunch of full heal potions just hanging out. Okay. Not a big fan of infinitely spawning mobs in boss fights, to be honest. But at least we've got ricochet shots, so it's not super bad. It works fine, I guess, in games where you need to worry about running out of ammo and whatnot. But oh boy. Potion of True Sight. Ponzu's Fragment. Slow metabolism. And down we go. Okay. Unfortunately, I die. And lose my bits. Oh, at least you get to keep 100% of the gold. 100% of the gold if you win now, though. That's nice. I think I'll probably just save up. Maybe. Now, let's get out of nice HP territory. I'm just gonna keep buying as many upgrades as I can. And I'd buy stuff from the blacksmith, but I'm a switch games at this point. I like UnderMine, but it is one of those where I've done all of this so much, and the upgrade system is still super... It's just like small statistical benefits and whatnot, which is nice, but it's one of those where there's no real excitement. It's just kind of like, cool, that was another run where I had Ricochet. Awesome.